Good evening, everyone, and welcome to day 786 here, Friday Flag Day. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight because tonight we are not going to raffle a flag. We're going to give a flag tonight in appreciation of all of the things that you guys have done. I have Professor Gertis with me tonight. Going to get him on right away in due order, but I want to say thank you. Thank you for what you've done. It is absolutely amazing. It's still coming, and you guys are amazing. I've got some other things in the works, going to announce to you in next week. And of course, everybody knows tomorrow. We'll talk about Prof. Gertis in a moment. The vote should be rolling tomorrow. There is a touch of a buzz in my audio. I'm fixing it at some point. I promise tomorrow. I want to take a hammer to it, but everything is good and we'll make it through tonight. So thank you guys for all that you do. Welcome. Continue on my channel, Professor Gertis's channel, everybody else's, to like, share, subscribe, turn the bell on so that we can keep rocking this together as we're doing. Without further ado, there is the professor. Good Friday to you.
I don't think a hammer is going to work for what ails your audio.
No.
That might make the problem worse.
It may, but I'm going to fix it tomorrow. I promise you, because it's like driving me nuts. Okay, guys, let me explain this to you right now. Yana, Project Konstantin, is one of our moderators, and she's in here. All you have to do tonight is go to the link in the description of the video. The first one, it brings you to a spreadsheet. Put your name in it. If you're struggling, Yana will be watching my stream, Professor Gertis's stream. Sorry, Yana. And just, there is a buzzing noise in the background. I'm going to fix it, Ronnie. I can't fix it tonight, so sorry.
So I don't know if the link is in the description on my side, but it's in my community thread. So you might have to pop up another tab, go to the community tab, click on that. Same thing. Gets to the same place for the giveaway for the flag.
That's correct. And the flag, guys, by the way, is right here. Another Shevchenko fish flag going to one of you guys tonight. So thank you for that. And the buzz will be gone tomorrow, I promise you. So, guys, all you have to do, click the link, put your name one time, and then I'm going to spin the wheel at the end of the stream. If you're having problem, type it in the chat. Say, Yana, add my name, please. She'll do the best she can. But tonight, somebody is going to win a flag in just a few minutes, and it's appreciation. Thank you very much. Some of you have already bought coffees tonight. You do not need to do that to get in this raffle. Just put your name in the hat. Somebody's getting it. I can tell you that we were able to send out James B. from Canada. He won the flag raffle last Friday. It's already in the mail to James. Also, I was giving one to Diane S. She made a massive contribution. Diane, I'm still waiting on your email, smoke signals, SOS, flags. Any way you want to communicate to me, your flag is waiting for you. Please, I want to send it to you. Also, guys, lots of messages about YouTube. Just make sure you're catching real stuff from me, Professor Gertis, and all of our other friends that we partner with. And make sure you keep a check on your notification bell. It seems people's notifications are being turned off. So you don't want to miss these things and want to keep growing. So make sure your notification's on and your bell is on. So there's that for tonight.
Before you move on with that, with YouTube, I have good news. I got an email from reporting from Ukraine, completely restored.
Beautiful.
So thank you to all of you that were listening and going through the little tutorial. I showed you how to go through, contact YouTube, what to say, that kind of thing. If you did that, you're awesome. Thank you. When one is restored, it makes it a lot easier on the rest of us in the next go round. that when something's going to happen, I've just switched over, not switched over, but I've created a backup on Patreon. Other people have done the same kind of thing. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm still seaworthy if something, or maybe when something happens to me, it's not improbable. So thank you. Reporting from Ukraine, fully restored, 100%. So that's great news.
There you go, guys. So, hey, we need to keep the positive message out. Here is a message from Frontline legend and hero, the guy on the right. The guy on the left is Zhenya. But you can see this flag. I will pick that up when I'm in Ukraine very soon. Thank you, Greg and YouTube community. So that one will be coming home, and it's thanks to all of you. You guys are the best. Also, you guys that are supporting our canine efforts, you see Vega, the dog on the right. His name is Vega. Everybody's saying that's an awesome flag. I'll go back and show it again. There he is. Yeah, great flag. Dog on the right is Vega. We're supporting a canine unit. That's the crew right there. And Zhenya was with them, dropping aid. So thank you guys for supporting our efforts to help the canines. It is amazing what we're all doing together. Additionally, continue to adopt a nation. It is going very, very well. As you can see here, the world is getting colored in more and more. Over the last 24 hours, we have added the nations of Bulgaria and Georgia. Thank you. All you have to do, go to the link in the description of my videos. You can see this map and choose to donate. Maybe you have a friend there. Maybe you grew up in that nation. Whatever it may be, we want to get this world map colored in. And yes, Antarctica is done as well. So thank you guys for continuing that effort. A little bit of news, and we'll get Professor Gertis's response. Over the last 2 days, quite a few strikes in Ukraine. Chernihiv, the numbers now official: 18 killed, 77 wounded. Dnipro, 9 killed, 29 wounded. Chernihiv was a strike on an apartment building, residences. Dnipro was apartment building.
Was it adjacent to a hospital?
Yes, it was.
Well?
Mm-hmm.
So both got hit?
Yes. The hospital took damage, but the majority of the loss of life was in the resident building. Dnipro, the same story, resident building. Now the number is 9 killed and 29 wounded. Guys, I know my mic has noise. This is the last night you have to struggle with audio, I promise you. Please give me grace for 30 more minutes because it's killing me. Kryvyi Rih was hit with infrastructure, 0 killed, 3 wounded, but infrastructure, meaning power, was damaged. Odessa, 0 killed, 5 wounded, power substation. Ivano-Frankivsk, out west, no one was killed, but power infrastructure was hit. So it continues, Professor Gertis.
Yeah, it's rough. And it's going to be rough until they have the aid, but the aid's on its way, it looks like. I mean, it's all but done. I mean, tomorrow is really the big test. After that, I mean, it'll go to the Senate. I don't see holdup in the Senate, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So
we're going to get there in just a minute. I got a slide for you. Black Sea Fleet moving to Caspian Sea. And this is from Volodymyr Zelenskyy. After the effective operations of Ukrainian forces in Crimea, Russia is moving its ships, in particular missile carriers, from the Black Sea to the Caspian Sea. According to President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, that's good news.
That's huge. That's good news for Putin.
It is good news for Putin. But you guys ready for this? Are you ready for this? Yes, it is being moved over from the Black Sea to the Caspian Sea because Ukraine has been able to hit it so hard. But I want to show you something on the map. This is the Black Sea where the ships have been. They're going to rotate over to the Caspian Sea. So, yes, it gives them protection a little bit more from Ukrainian strikes. But, folks, what's right below the Caspian Sea? Iran. Hello. Don't miss the forest for the trees. Russia already saying it will support Iran, it will stand with Iran, and those ships are not only being rotated to protect against Ukrainian strikes, but also to be better in position in case things go sideways with Israel and Iran. So either way, it's good news for Ukraine that they get further away.
So what happened with Israel was really interesting because it wasn't something where Iran had a powerful effect on them. They really, their bark was actually more dangerous than their bite, and they just kind of pants themselves on the world stage. It's really interesting how that all played out. And
you keep talking.
I'm not sure that anything that Russia does to move ships into the Caspian is going to improve the situation for them at all. And when Israel struck back, it struck back in a fairly limited way, and it had to in order at least to save face. But I'm not sure exactly what the damage has been even so far. We'll find out in the next day or so.
We will find out. Hold on.
You just got way quiet.
I know. You keep talking.
Now you're echoey.
But I got rid of the buzz. You keep talking.
But now you're in a cave.
I'm coming out of the cave. You keep talking.
So I'm not sure how that's improving the situation if they move those to the Black Sea, but from the Black Sea to the Caspian Sea. But getting them out of harm's way is a really important thing for the Russian Navy. They were to the point where they had to have barges in front of the naval ships so that the Russian Navy could be protected from Ukrainian sea babies. Like that's a pretty bizarre place to be, given that they were supposed to be the 800-pound gorilla in the region. Talk again. Let's see if you're still in the cave.
It's aggravating, but I'm going to fix it. But we're getting a little better. But you're right.
All right. Well, people will put up with it, given that
put up with it until
one
tomorrow.
Day.
You guys just give me grace. I'm going to fix this in the morning. I'm ready to take a hammer to it, to be quite honest. So let's get back to this. Yes. So still, it's good news. It speaks to Ukrainians' ability to strike. Could you imagine if they actually had supply and what they could do? Which hopefully tomorrow we're going to get some update on that. Olaf Scholz coming out saying NATO has the ability to provide 6 Patriots.
This was just a statement. This isn't saying we have it or it's going. He's just saying you can do it.
Correct. That's all it is. But at least
there's news, and then there's not real news. Like there's news like I have provided 1, and then there's news like we probably can get our hands on another 6, and that's where this one is.
So that's not happening tomorrow.
Well, I mean it's good, but it's not like the kind of news that you want to write home about, because the transfer of the 1, that's far more significant. It's like a bird in the hand as opposed to 6 in the bush.
Marino 4691 saying Germany's going to provide 1. Not sure about the other 6, but we'll see. Time tells. As I always say, and I think Prof. Gertz does as well, let time tell, and we'll see what happens. It's even regarding tomorrow. Sanctions. So let me explain something to you guys, and we'll get Professor Gertz's opinion on it. Every time something is struck down in Ukraine, every time, I have the components sitting right over here to my left with United States circuit boards in them, made in 2023. Okay? I brought them home from Ukraine, from a KH missile. Every time that a drone is on the ground, taken down, or a missile, every piece is salvaged and investigated by Ukraine, and they are finding that 70% of electronic components inside of the drones and the missiles manufactured with connections to the United States, if not manufactured in and through the United States, 70% dated 2023 or 2024. They're still getting the stuff.
Yeah, it gets through. It gets through like the amount of trade that's gone, electronic components that have gone through Kazakhstan and Turkey and other countries. It's really amplified. Other stans, like the stan countries, are particularly useful as middlemen here. And I've done an entire video just saying sanctions don't work on their own. They don't work. They can help, they can amplify things, they can help slow things down, but we put way too much trust in sanctions. And if you want to do it, why did you do 15 sanctions packages? Why didn't you just do all of that up front? But I mean, yeah,
Well,
things will still get through.
I've always struggled with the sanctions because unless you're sanctioned globally, there's always a doorway. And if
Yeah,
China's not sanctioned and Kazakhstan and India and South American nations aren't active and Asian nations aren't active and African nations aren't active, guys, forget it. You
yeah,
cannot
it's
stop
like
it.
it's like receiving Russian oil. Like India has taken up as much as they can. Brazil, 600 or 6,000% increase in Russian oil since like last year. Okay, so that's where we are.
President Raygun, I want to answer your question. I saw it pop in the chat. Our mods are doing an awesome job tonight because it's tough. What will the Russians do when their dictator dies? It'll get worse.
Hey, somebody's putting in my chat that they can't use my link for some reason. So somehow we need to make sure that like my link apparently isn't working. We want to make sure. Okay, so the way to do this is then to pop up a screen, go to Greg Terry's website, uh, at Greg Terry Experience, go
Yes.
to his community tab and click on there. And you'll see the same link, and that'll take care of you. By the way, I have to go address boiling water for
You
dinner,
do
and
that, and I'll keep
I'll be
talking.
right back.
He'll be right back, folks. So let me answer that question. It'll be worse, guys. The ones that are in the wings, and I know you may not believe this or not, but the ones that are in the wings are even worse than Vladimir Putin in regard to their egotistical, maniacal behavior. So even if he went away yesterday, which many people believe, or he went away tomorrow, which many people hope for, it would not change the war. Sorry. Let me do this. Why cannot non-members comment in the chat? You should be able to. It's on subscriber mode only. Live chat is. So we should be good there. Putin's Navy, a bucket of bolts. Let me mute. Ukrainian General Staff says they hit Crimean Air Base with ATACMS. They got some in March with the last U-aid package. That's good. General consensus there saying that they were hit with ATACMS in Crimea, Professor Gertis. But to be honest, I wish it was a penny
At
regate.
dinner,
He
12
is
minutes.
giving a commercial, folks, on our Friday
No,
night.
it's not a commercial. It's just I'm lazy, and this is like the quickest thing I could make. I wanted to actually. What happened was I didn't know what I was going to make for dinner, and I wanted to join in the live stream. And I was like, well, I'm going to disappear periodically, but I still want to do this because a lot of you in my community have been part of this effort as well, and I wanted you to be able to be part of this. And this is it's been fantastic what all of you all have done. And so I was like, okay, even if I have to duck out for dinner,
Yeah,
12
so
minutes, by the way, 12 minutes, it'll be done.
awesome. Thank you. Thank you. The professor is running. So with the ATACMS, General Staff saying hit Crimea, it's good news. They have them. They were able to use them. But honestly, I would have preferred Ukrainian stuff that they're manufacturing that would have the capabilities to do that, which they do have. But either way, it's good news for me. Mike Chilton, what is going on with the shells the EU is trying to provide? That may be the Czech initiative. I do know they're struggling raising some final funds for that. Do you have any update on that, Prof?
No, I know that it's moving a lot faster than anything that we're going to get to. But when you had the ATACM thing up there in the bill that's supposed to be voted on, hopefully tomorrow, ATACMs are required to be sent. That's actually ahead of what was in the previous bill. So that's good.
Ukraine spent $4 billion, speaking about that, of their own budget USD from the state budget on weapons due to the West delay in aid, said Minister of Finance Sergei Marchenko during the roundtable of the World Bank and the IMF in DC. This was not planned for. He said we were expecting supply and therefore created a hole in our state budget. The lack of air defense and missile defense is significantly reducing not only the danger or increasing the danger against the country, but it's reducing the country's economic potential, which ultimately hurts the world as well. So this is a problem.
But mercifully, they had that as a safety valve. Imagine if they didn't even have that. Like, how much land would they have lost in the meantime if they couldn't have been doing this along the way with whatever they had? Like, if you don't have money for this, you do what you have with that, and then you just go without, and that's where they are.
Delivery starting in June from Czech Initiative, RF from USA. I believe that is correct. General consensus in there with that as well. And guys,
that sounds
I promise
correct.
you. Yeah, it does sound right. Thank you. Listen, I'm sorry for the buzz. I'm telling you, I am a musician and an audio freak, and I know my deepest apologies, everybody. It will be fixed. I promise you it'll be chista. That's the word for clean on the next one. I promise you. So let's talk about tomorrow. Then we'll do a couple of videos I want to share. And then we're going to do the flag raffle. Here we go.
Before we talk about tomorrow, we got to talk about today. So what actually happened, we're talking about the U.S. Congress, right? Okay. So it got out of the Rules Committee. And the way that this works is it has to pass the rule first to have the debate. And then it goes to the floor to say, do you want to actually have this? And then they vote on it. So that's the vote tomorrow that they vote on it. But what was today was, or just happened, was a Rules Committee. All Democrats voted for it. 3 out of the, I think, 5 Republicans, 5 and 4, 9. Yeah. So 3 out of the 5 Republicans voted against it. But, interesting. And I pointed this out in my 3 big stories tonight. Scott was one of those of the 2 that voted for it. The people were giving him a black eye. Well, so remember Scott, who was taken to the undersecretary just a few days ago, Representative Scott from Georgia. And people were saying, well, you didn't vote for the, it's escaping me, the motion to the petition. You didn't vote for the petition, so, he's a hypocrite. No, it's a really hard thing to go up against your own leadership, knowing that you're probably never going to get anything ever again. So just take it with a grain of salt. But he voted for this with the Democrats. So it was all done. So now it goes out of there, and then it goes to the larger House. And when it went to the House, it was a vote of 151 Republicans and 165 Democrats to 55 Republicans and 39 Democrats. So that's a pretty good showing for that. Now, some of them had different motives. Like, of the 55 Republicans, they were probably more anti-Ukraine, and of the 39 Democrats, it was probably that they didn't want to support Israel. That's probably the majority of those 2 crowds. But nonetheless, they went past with a very high margin, and it's 316 to 94 by the time it was all said and done. So that's good. Tomorrow it'll come out. We'll see what the final vote is from the House. After that, it goes to the Senate. If the Senate's smart, they'll just say, we take it, and pass it along to Biden. If they're not smart, or if people want to get in the way, what they'll do is they'll try to add amendments, like Marjorie Taylor Greene's absurd amendments. Like, if you vote for this, you have to conscript in the Ukrainian army. That went nowhere, of course. It wasn't meant to. She's just a blowhard. And so then it'll go to the Senate.
She's a camera whore.
Yeah, well, yes. In my less charitable moments, I might have thought or said those kinds of things about her. She's not actually, like, I actually looked up the things that she has sponsored, the bills that she has sponsored. She's passed 4 bills, or she's sponsored 4 bills that have passed in her time there. Like, she's not a serious, yeah. Okay. At any rate, all right, so then it goes to the Senate. The Senate can filibuster for a while if they want, but there's not enough to really filibuster too terribly long. Rand Paul won't like it because he doesn't like spending on anything because he's a libertarian, right? And then there's going to be some MAGA guys, J.D. Vance, for example, but it should get through. The big problem would be if the Senate tries to amend and send it back to the House. I hope they don't do that. I hope they just take it as it is and send it forward, because we really need to get this forward.
In your gut, what's the percentage of something passing potentially tomorrow if they do vote?
I think it's extremely high that it'll pass. Are you asking the percentage of passing, or
No, just if
percentage
we have
likelihood that
a chance of it
Yeah,
passing.
I've been saying all along it just has to work through the process, but then Trump threw the monkey wrench in it with the border security tie-in, and then I know I heard another commentator talking about how, well, Trump realizes now that it's not actually helping him, so with to be against Ukraine. And so it's going to be really interesting to watch. There could be a scenario where Trump starts to become pro-Ukrainian-ish. I'm not saying that that necessarily is going to happen, but it's possible. And then watch the contortions as people are now defending what they used to say was terrible, because people just aren't following their principles. They're just following whatever the candidates or the commentators say. And it's so bizarre to me. Anyway, but that could happen.
Let me go to this. So this was on BBC. U.S. Congress close to passing long-awaited Ukraine aid tomorrow. And, this worked out perfectly having Prof. Gertis in here. And by the way, some of you guys in here are so thankful. I mean, so kind to me, because there is a buzz. And look at here. This is what I'm doing. My hand is on my mixer. And every time Prof. Gertis talks, I do. You hear that? If you can't, think
he usually
God.
does it with the mute button.
Yeah, but I'm trying to manage this as much as I can with all these screens going on in front of me, and have a conversation with a guy that's really, really smart that we are honored to have tonight with Prof. Gertis, especially on the eve potentially of the vote tomorrow. This is the man.
Who else do we have?
You. This is the man's wheelhouse. So U.S. Congress close to passing long-awaited aid. I want to ask you a couple questions on this. After months of delay, U.S. House of Reps appears poised to hold a vote on tens of billions of dollars made military aid for Ukraine and Israel this weekend. Both measures have vocal opponents in Congress, however, and their hopes of passage have hinged on a fragile bipartisan coalition to overcome daunting procedural and legislative obstacles in their way. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has said he's determined to bring the matter to a vote, even if it may put his hold on power in jeopardy. The Ukraine vote will be closely watched in Kyiv, which has warned of the urgent need for fresh support from its allies as Russia makes steady gains on the battlefield. What's in the bills? Foreign aid proposal, $60.8 billion for Ukraine, $26.4 for Israel, and $8.1 to the Indo-Pacific region, including Taiwan. Then I highlight this statement. You tell me if it's true. The House of Representatives will vote on each component individually, raising the possibility that some components will be approved and others will fail. That was in the article.
Between Israel,
Yes,
Ukraine,
sir.
and Taiwan. And,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is possible, but I think Ukraine aid will sail through once it's allowed to get to the floor. Every Democrat will vote for it, and there will be all you need is like 5 Republicans or 3 Republicans or something like that. After that, I mean, it'll sail.
Good. Okay, now I want to talk about the aid specific because I've got the breakdown of it from Kyiv, not from Washington, but from Kyiv. And I translated it from Ukrainian into English, and I'm going to show it to you guys. And then I want to get your opinion on it, Professor Gertis, with your background and knowledge. And this is your wheelhouse. By the way, Dr. Dawson says hello to you. And I did see Carl Elwell in the chat. So I need to do this. I received a beautiful, and I received a beautiful letter from a longtime viewer on my channel. Let me go to this view right quick. Carl Elwell. It says, included in letter is my brother-in-law's rank insignia. Please distribute at your discretion. His name was Daniel, 20-year U.S. Navy Vietnam veteran. The insignia indicates he was a personnel management specialist and chief petty officer. Carl Elwell, I have it, and it will go to Ukraine. Folks, lots of people do this. They send me patches, and you can go to my website, send it to my P.O. box. I carry them right to Ukraine with me. It's light, and the soldiers love receiving foreign patches. Now, let me get back to this. I'm going to
hold on a second. So there's 2 things. One, there's a great comment here that make America great again in the eyes of the world by supporting Ukraine. That's a great comment. I mean, that's absolutely fantastic. And second, I hear my stove beeping. And so I have to run
Okay,
to
you go to
deal
the
with
stove
that,
real
and
quick.
I'll be right back. So this is
Go,
like,
and I'm gonna wait.
just teasing.
Okay, I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna do something else. You go. I'm gonna play a Zelensky video, guys. I
Yeah.
have today a video of President Zelensky when he was in the East visiting soldiers, giving out awards. I want to play that for you tonight. And here is President Zelensky.
It's nice to be here to see you in person and to personally thank and reward you. You are in one of the hottest, maybe the hottest direction of today's battles for our state, and I thank you for that. You fight for Ukraine, for Donbass, for our Donbass, for the Ukrainian Donbass. We are grateful to your brothers who are sadly not with us anymore, but they are always in memory, and I wish you health, strength, victory, and all the best. Once again, thankful for you taking care for Ukraine and defending our people and our land. Glory to Ukraine. Congratulate the Ukrainian people. Thank you for perhaps thank you.
Here he is giving awards away. Really nice moment. So there you have it, guys. That was President Zelensky today, and I'll keep watching for when Prof. Gertis gets back in here because I want him to see the other things as well. Let me take a quick check on the spreadsheet here, guys. Yes, it's growing and growing. A lot more viewers. Maybe you're not able to get in here. If you want to get your name in it and you don't know how, you go to the link in the description of my video. It's just a spreadsheet. Put your name on the left side of the list. Yana's watching it and helping us as well. We're doing the best we can. We've already got 133 of you in here, and one of you guys is going to win tonight. That battle flag from the very front lines, and it's going to be wonderful. I also next week have something really interesting I'm going to be sharing with you guys. I'm waiting for a little bit more information on it, but I'm telling you right now, it's going to be incredible, and you guys are going to be a part of it. Let me go over here while I'm waiting on Professor Gertis because I really want him in on this part. I want to say thank you right now to iBag M for the €4. Dunk on you 23. Greg, keep doing good things, sir. Slava Ukraina. Thank you, Mr. Michael Jordan. Dunk on you 23 for gifting 10 memberships. Thank you, guys. Mitch Ashdown. I don't need a flag, but I do need to do this. Donation of Canadian 30. Thank you for that. Going to Ukraine. Salt of the Red Earth. $10. Has Yana earned an emoji yet? You know, she sure has. Yana, send me a picture of yourself, and I'm going to make an emoji for Yana. LWD Farm member. 2 months. Crew member, thank you for that. LWD Farm, gifting 5 memberships. Salt of the Red Earth, gifting a membership. Cats, gifting a membership. I'm sure, Cats, you were happy to see the care for the canines. Decide to be used to get $5 to be used to get rid of the buzz or in Ukraine. It is going to go away. Angie Drumheller, $10. You guys are so beautiful for help. Port in Ukraine, thank you for that. Aussie T gifting 5 memberships. Angie Drumheller again, $10. Thank you so much. Gumby S gifting 10 memberships. Javier, your €5.99. I'm going to ask that question to Professor Gertis right now. Mertzy, I have patches for you to take to Ukraine, Greg, crew member for 2 months. Mertzy, we're going to have coffee before I go to Ukraine, and you can give me some patches then. Professor Gertis, question for you, and then we'll get to the breakdown. Brian Cochran, thank you for that coffee there. €5.99 from Javier. Professor Gertis, what about the amendment from Representative Sparks to severely reduce PDA, question mark. Could you please explain how amendments are treated for non-Americans?
Amendment is you add something to the bill. If enough people vote yes, we can add that. It gets added on and becomes part of the process. I looked at that and I scratched my head. I'm not sure what was going on there. I mean, I don't know enough about it to be able to speak to it intelligently. So if I can suspend that and come back in another time to talk about it, let me do that. I had a question over here that said, honest question, speaking of making America great again, and I see this periodically, when did they say again, or when they say again, which time frame are they talking about? Which is the epic state of the states that they want to return to? Honestly, pretty much any time in the U.S. history, I'll take as opposed to the world history because of the rights and freedoms that we first inherited from Britain. Now, I understand slavery, but there was slavery throughout all of history. And when did it end? Do you know that the United States, in multiple states, which means united countries, right? I mean, these were various countries that got together as former colonies, became countries, and then unified. Half of the United States ended slavery before any other nation did. Haiti did, and then Great Britain did, and others, right? But half of the U.S. was already doing that. So it's not like, well, they're just slavery. Well, it's still going on in the South. That's true. But the free rights and freedoms that we enjoy in the United States, which, again, we're standing on the shoulders of the giants in Great Britain, the 700 years of what they consider their constitution, multiple documents. We kind of plagiarized a bunch of ideas and improved, we think, on it. And we enjoy a lot of rights and freedoms, including the First Amendment and things along those lines, which I mean, these are very important, very critical. So, I mean, I see it. I know a number of people want to point at the deficits, but it's kind of like what Greg and I do. Greg and I are looking at how we can be like Greg and ATP Geopolitics and the Shills, and you name all of us. We're not looking for the things that divide us. We're looking at the things that unite us. And if you look for the good stuff in U.S. history, you will find a legacy of freedom that is unfolding over time. And so that's my speech for that. Okay, let's get back to where we were talking about Ukraine. And
I completely agree with you. Making America great again. I have no specific date on that. I mean, that's it's even maddening to even think that way, to be quite honest with you. But you're going down a toilet.
By the way, I saw a video clip of Clinton saying it. I saw a clip before that of Reagan saying, let's make America great again. So it's not a Trump only kind of thing, but he uses it as it's kind of has a different meaning infused into it because everybody assumes Trump is the only thing related to that. Okay.
Tracy Berry, thank you for the 2 coffees. You get the Slava Ukraina there. But I want to tell you something, guys, and we won't go down this rabbit hole right now, but I've got news for you. The America that Donald Trump wants to make is not the America that was great. I'm here to tell you that. Now, are there principles in there and things that I may agree with politically, that some of the things he may stand for? Yes, but there are some of the things that Joe Biden stands for that I agree with. But this principle of this making America great again, in my opinion, and I'm not the expert, Professor Gertis is, but I can tell you this, a lot of it is to bring division and to bring separation and to bring this culture of un-American ways that divides our country instead of bringing our country together. See, they want to make America great again by dividing it and conquering the other side. How we really make America great again is by destroying the things that separate us and enhancing the things that bring us together. That's how you do it.
There are 2 wings, 2 extreme wings, one on the right, one on the left, and there's a progressive side on the left, there's a MAGA side on the right, and they're essentially manifestations of the same thing trying to get to different ends. And they're both vitriolic and they're both combative. And, I was telling Johnny early on, like, I miss honest liberals because in the United States, we've had a lot of progressives and people like Johnny. He and I get along, even if it wasn't Ukraine, I think we would still get along on other things. And he's written books like Castigating Christians. Okay, that's fine. Let's have the argument. And so But people like me and people like him want to actually sit down and have the argument and see why we're right or wrong. And that kind of honest debate is going to be very different than somebody who just wants to call names or that kind of thing. And you see a lot of that in MAGA, and you see it reflected on the far other side as well. So there we go. Okay.
The reality
At any
is,
rate,
though, and we won't camp out there, but the bottom line is, I rode around the front lines of Ukraine with Johnny Pierce, and I would fight for that man. He is my friend,
he's a good guy.
a dear friend. And we learned when you're in a truck in a war zone for days on end, you learn that you actually have much more in common than separates you if you'll only talk about it and stop flushing each other down the toilet. That's the problem. We have a world led by the United States right now that creates an atmosphere of toxicity, division, separation. It's evil. What is beautiful is when we come together, but I'm getting off the soapbox now. Now, let me ask you this question, Professor Gertis. This is directly from Ukraine. I translated it from Ukrainian into English. Here we go. In the bill that is being voted on, we believe tomorrow, 49.9, it's 60 billion approximately, but broken down, 49.9 billion of it, 23.2 billion is for the replenishment of stocks of American weapons. 11.3 billion is current U.S. military operations in the region. 13.8 billion is for the purchase of weapons. 1.6 billion is for foreign military financing to Ukraine and regional partners. 1.6 billion. 26 million supervision and accountability of aid provided to Ukraine. 5 million to the State Department for the administration of defense assistance, 300 million to protect the borders of Ukraine and rule of law, 100 million support for demining programs, 7.849 billion of economic aid to Ukraine, 1.57 billion of other types of economic assistance to Ukraine, 25 million for U.S. aid program, 50 million for State Department for Defense Aid Administration, 149 million for U.S. Aid Office of Initiatives, 481 million to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to help Ukrainians who received a humanitarian password in the U.S. through the U4U program, which I know much about, which is good actually. 60 million for diplomatic programs, 8 million Office of the General Inspector of the State Department, 39 million U.S. aid operational expenses, 10 million Office of the U.S. Aid Inspector General, and 98 million U.S. Department of Energy for the development and production of radioactive isotopes. I don't want to throw any wet on this good story, but some of that I don't understand. Let me just say it that way. I don't understand some of those numbers, how they're broken down, but that's how they're broken down in that package.
Yeah, so that sounds correct. I don't know that so at a certain point, you can only keep so many details in your head. And so it sounds like the general framework of what I'm aware of, but I can't verify exactly whatever, but I wouldn't challenge it. It sounds like it's in the right kind of categories, but that's more specific.
It's direct.
Yeah, that's more specific than, go ahead.
It's direct from Kyiv, right from their general staff office. So it's broken down this way. So my question is, okay, 60 billion in aid, approximate 23.2, over a third of it for the replenishment of stocks of American weapons. So are we already at 37 billion going to Ukraine, and we're just refilling?
Replenishment means we can give you crap and then we replenish on the back end. We pay. Yeah. So that's what that means. The real thing to watch out for, and I hope that this is there, is whether Biden has the extra authority to make decisions about giving things that are in an emergency, if it replenishes that or not. And that's one thing to watch out for. I'm not aware whether it is or is not, but that could be another $4 to $8 billion depending on what authority they provide him. So
okay,
but again, a portion of it could be loan, or loan lease could be turned on, and then you turn that on and just leave that on. That could be a spigot that would be very, very valuable. So
let me ask you this. Do we have a time? Is there already an agreed time for tomorrow, or does it just, as the process goes through, they go, okay, we're calling for the vote now? How does that work in DC tomorrow for people to understand?
I'm not sure what the timetable is. I know it's supposed to be tomorrow, but I'm not sure. I don't know if it's like at 10 o'clock or something along those lines. But it looks almost inevitable that it'll get to the floor. And if it gets to the floor, it looks almost inevitable that it'll pass. And then the only extra hurdle could be if they do some amending in the Senate, which would require it to be sent back to the House, which would just slow things down. But it looks, again, people have been saying this for months. Johnson, just put it on the floor, like put it to allow people to vote. And if you allow it to vote, I don't think it is going to not pass. I think it will.
All right.
By the way, I have somebody here who said at the start of the war, there was talk of a no-fly zone. Could it be possibility today? And at the same time, Biden keep his word about U.S. boots on Iranian soil. So I think if you're thinking through this, pretty much every American politician has said we don't want to put boots on the ground. But if you don't want to do that, you got to fund them and provide them the material. A no-fly zone would be a Ukrainian no-fly zone with those planes that they have in order to. So, yeah, I think you can avoid boots on the ground. I think the greatest way to avoid boots on the ground is to give them everything that they need to push the Russians out. That's the big. I mean, that's the way to get there. And this is what really separates people on this issue. There are appeasers who say, no. Don't provoke them. This is going to cause World War III. And then there are people that say, you know what? This is a bully who's going to keep coming, and you're going to make him more and more hungry the more you appease him. Push them back with everything that you have as soon as possible. So that's the difference.
All right, guys, and lots of chat, lots of conversation in the chat where we're educating. We got a lot of experiences in here, a lot of experienced people that are saying. In fact, I'll pop this one. Let's go here. Mark Snyder, resupply of ammo is replenishment. Artillery shells, HIMARS rockets, Patriot missiles, etc. The $13 billion for new weapons could easily give them the new Patriot batteries they need. Thank you for that. And Desade was in there. The comment's already gone so fast, saying that, it really, the money is one thing. Everybody just throws these numbers around. What is important is getting the stuff there, and I agree with that completely. So, now, guys, here's
here's one of the most interesting articles that I've read in the entire time that I was like looking at this stuff. Someone proposed, if Europe just thinks about funding it, like really funding, they need American weapons. And Trump, let's say Trump wins. This is hypothetical. Trump would be all about the deal of selling those weapons just because he'd be all about the deal for the sake of being the deal maker. And so that could be a way forward, even in that worst kind of case scenario. So, I mean, there's a lot to be optimistic about moving forward. How do we start today? The Russian Black Sea fleet is fleeing to the Caspian Sea. Like, who saw that happening in 2022 in February when they invaded? Like, that's a pretty big win. We've had a lot of wins lately. We have reporting from Ukraine, the Black Sea Fleet, topping the 260,000. What's going to happen tomorrow? Like, this is a good week.
The Tu-22 being taken down.
Yeah.
The strike in Crimea. There's lots of good news. Just supply these guys.
And they wanted to, Russia in Pravda wanted to blame it on friendly fire. They'd rather be incompetent than admit that Ukraine actually shot the thing down. One of the funniest comments I saw on my channel after I put that up was, I didn't know that Russia and Ukraine were friends.
Exactly. Tommy Nordica, thank you for that coffee there. Greg Terry, will we see Pete's mom's recorded interview? Yes, I will be putting that up this weekend. It is gold. Now, guys, we're going to go about 5 more minutes. And I'm going to do the drawing for the flag, and I need to apologize to you guys. So I didn't really know how to do this, to be quite honest with you. And this is the flag we're going to be giving away. I saw the super chat in there from Blonde Bombsheller. I did personally add Leia, Alex, and Gracie. They're in the drawing tonight. But here's what I'm going to tell you. Next Friday night, there's going to be another flag giveaway because I don't do things halfway. And right now, the buzz, I know everybody said let it go, but it's driving me nuts. But the inability for some of you not to be able to add your name to the spreadsheet tonight, I'm going to find a website, a sign-up sheet somehow better than a shared Google sheet. I didn't know what else to do tonight. So this is going to happen again next Friday. Yes, I have enough flags, and we've raised almost now 200 and more came in today, $272,000 over for this project. We can give away some flags, guys. Okay, so I'm going to give away another flag next Friday. There will be no raffle, no drawing. You can always donate, buy coffees, send in donations. Yes, we'll fill the armored vehicles. Next week, I have a huge announcement about a city that wants to partner with the Greg Terry Experience to deliver a vehicle. Did you hear me, Professor Gertis? A city in the United States, a large city that wants to trust us to deliver a vehicle for them.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and next week you guys will hear it's Albuquerque, New Mexico. I can't wait. It's Albuquerque, New Mexico. I was contacted by their government people. Can you please deliver a vehicle to us to the mayor of Kharkiv? Yes,
wow,
we can do that. Yes, we can do that. Thank you guys for your trust. It's going to happen. This is what happens. So next Friday night, we got a huge crowd in here tonight between my channel and Professor Gertis's channel, all combined. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna find a better way where you can just put your name on something simple, not have to go to a spreadsheet. We're gonna go in 5 minutes with the videos that we have. I mean, with the people in the spreadsheet we have for tonight. And
so if you haven't gotten onto the spreadsheet, make sure that you do. You can go to Greg Terry's channel tab at Greg Terry Experience, go to the community tab, and then click on the spreadsheet. And just put your name on the thing if you're coming from my channel. By the way, I want to address something because somebody put in the comments about I'm flabbergasted by your trust in Trump that he would support Ukraine. I don't trust Trump at all. I don't trust him any further than I can throw him. That's not it.
That's
I'm saying
not far.
There could be a pet. No, I could throw him pretty good.
Guys,
years of judo.
We could raise $1 million if we could get a judo match between Gertis and Trump.
Yeah. So at any rate, but I don't trust him. That's not it at all. I'm saying there could be a path if, God forbid, we went down that path, right? There could be, because he has no real compass. Trump is about Trump. Trump's not about like an ideology. I have an ideology that's causing me to defend Ukraine because this is I'm a Reagan Republican. Why are we not supporting Ukraine? This is crazy talk to me. But he doesn't have that center. So at any rate, I just want to talk about that real quick. Okay, let's get back to.
I agree with you completely. Richard Demi, thank you for that 20 super chat for stuff. It'll go to stuff. Thank you. Guys, just a couple more minutes and I'm going to spin the wheel. I will do that. Yana, thank you so much for your help. Please send me a picture tonight. Nate, doing the moderation tonight, giving Paul Deberitz a night off. All of our other moderators in here helping to keep the chat going, and now it's rolling. We want to say thank you for all of those that have bought memberships and gifted memberships. RF from USA, thank you for being our feet in Ukraine. You're welcome. And you also get eyes, ears, and hands there. Elaine Crossland, thank you. Guys, just thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to spin the wheel in just a minute if you can get your name in the spreadsheet. And I promise you, next Friday, we're going to give away another flag. And we're going to make the sign up for this so easy that anybody could do it. I promise you. So just stick with us. We'll get it done. I promise you. Now, while we're waiting the last couple of minutes, I want to show you guys a couple of clips in from Zhenya. You guys know we adopted the 3rd Assault Brigade, 2nd Rifle Battalion. We've been equipping them We were able just to drop them a massive drop of drones, eyes in the sky. You will see video on that in the coming days. All of you that bought this stuff in the past, I told you, just stick with us. They're delivered now. And that kind of stuff you can't show live. You have to wait days because it's serious. So you will see that. Thank you. It is done. But we also dropped, they were needing this particular wire crimper that was impossible to find. Zhenya found it and delivered it right to Andrew, the commander. Here it is, guys. This is the commander, 3rd Assault, 2nd Rifle Battalion, whom we've adopted, Andrew. And I know many of you young ladies out there, you've messaged me. You know, you young ladies, 55, 60, 65, 70. You messaged me when I was in Ukraine. You said, man, Andrew is so cute. Well, here is Andrew saying thank you to all of you.
Greg, you were reminding me 100 times.
Probably 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's done. You may mark it.
I love it. It is done. You may mark it. Our promise is fulfilled. That was Commander Andrew. Now, do you guys, I'm going to show a picture and keep talking. You remember these guys? These are the guys on the Southern Front who pushed us. They didn't push us. I pushed us. But their story pushed me to add the 4th snatch. These are heroes down there, medics, legends down there on the Southern Front. And the guy on the left has that good Cossack look. Well, they are aware that soon their armored medevac will be delivered to them. And how about a thank you from them to you?
Я хочу подякувати всім, хто долучився до збору на наш івак-мобіль, завдяки котрому ми рятуємо життя нашим хлопцям. Дякую всім. Ви кращі, пам'ятайте, разом ми переможемо.
Україна переможе.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play that again. I let it do it that way. I will voice him over in English. But what I want you to do, in fact, Professor Gertis, do you see the vehicle behind them?
I did a moment ago.
I'm going to play it again, but you see the vehicle behind them. That white ambulance with the blue lighting on top, that is from Paris, given to them as a gift to extract soldiers from the front line. Not armored, and a bullseye on top of it with that white. Yeah. Okay, that is why we're getting armored vehicles to these guys. They can't get to the front in that vehicle. That's it.
Right.
Only in rare situations. Rowdy, thank you for those 10 coffees. Estelle, thank you. Trust is the key to my heart and my wallet. Thank you so much for trusting us. I need to show that. Trust is the key to my heart and my wallet. Thank you, Estelle. We do our very best. Just stick with us. We're going places to help Ukraine. Now, I'm going to voice them over this time, and then we're going to do the flag raffle. Look at the ambulance behind them, guys. This is what we're replacing.
Я хочу подякувати всім, хто долучився до збору на наш івак-мобіль, завдяки котрому ми рятуємо життя нашим хлопцям. Дякую всім, ви кращі, пам'ятайте, разом ми переможемо.
Україна переможе.
Together we will win, Ukraine for victory. But look at the vehicle right there. That is their medevac vehicle that they go out in. It's crazy. Crazy. So thank you, guys.
Well, with people that wouldn't shoot at medics, following that kind of Geneva Convention protocol, that might work, but this isn't where we are. So
that's correct. They blow them up. I'm telling you. All right, guys.
Okay,
I'm going to the spreadsheet.
Get the flag.
We're going right now. All I've got to do is import the names. 174 of you are in here. Thank you. Next week we will do it again, and you guys will see it. So you're going to watch it. Here's the spreadsheet. I've got everybody's names here. We do everything public, and I'm going to file. Then I'm going to download a CSV file. I've got it. I'm going to go over to what I've already got ready to go and go to random name picker, and I'm going to put the file in. Boom. Now
this is boring, but don't leave.
I'm not leaving.
I'd hate for you to miss it.
All the names are there. And now what we're going to do, we're going to number of winner there. We're going to do wheel of names. Yeah. Wheel of names. Nope, that's all good. Manage and save it, pick a winners, and I go, and I'm boom, there they are.
Somebody said boring. This is super exciting.
Are you
I
kidding?
just meant all the procedures, not the upset. I meant don't leave because you
don't
need to,
leave. There it is,
be
guys.
here.
All of your names are in there. Somebody is getting ready to win this, and next week we're going to do it again, even in a better format. But this is a good one tonight. Here we go. Boop. Wheel is spinning, and the winner of the flag tonight is King.
Dramatic pause.
I had to scroll down. King, 173 entries. King, you are the winner. You have to be present to win. All right, now I hate to do this. Is that King Raccoon? King Raccoon, is that you? I need to know. I need to know. I have to wait. Can you do something, Professor? Anything? I have to know. Because if it's King, I'm going to spin it again. Is King, was that you? That's me, buddy. Spin again. King is a moderator, and King has already been sent a flag. King is a moderator repeating, and King has already been sent a flag. You guys get to watch the boring spin one more time.
No, the spin's not boring. The spin's exciting. All the setup was boring.
Well,
the spin's exciting.
This professor here, guys, I don't know what I'm going to do with him. Here we go. With one more time. We're spinning. Picking a winner. CBUK, you are the winner tonight. CBUK, you are the winner. Please send me an email confirming you are CBUK. And listen, all you other people out there that put your name in the hat, don't you email me and tell me you're CB from UK. Because Johnny Pierce will know if CBUK is who it is. This flag is coming right to you. Thank you, CBUK, and congratulations to you tonight. Next week, we will do it again, minus the buzz, and with a much better streamlined way so that all of the 600-700 of you watching can get your name in the hat. Thank you for supporting Ukraine. Professor, tomorrow's a big day. We'll be watching.
It sure is. All right. Hey, I just want to thank you for allowing my audience to partake in this, because there are a lot of folks over on my channel that have been supporting you. They support everything in these fundraisers, and I just wanted to make sure that they were tuned in. Like you only let me know 3 hours ahead of time.
Well, I appreciate listen, the reality is I just had this idea. And I get crazy ideas during the day when I'm working. C Sharp Dev, thank you for the 5 coffees there. Lady B Apiary, I never got a notification from the bell. Yes, ma'am. Listen, everybody out there, one last time, make sure your notification bells are on Professor Gertis's channel and mine. It seems for some reason they're being turned off or switched off. Just always double check your settings, and that's a way we all work together. So thank you for that. That's all good. That's all good. Just double check if CB is in chat. CB is in chat, and CB will. We don't have CB.
I don't see that I have CB either.
Okay.
I was looking for CB.
All right, then I'm going. Thank you. Thank you for sticking. All right, you have to be in the chat. Sorry,
this is getting dramatic.
Here we go. CB 10.
If you're here, you need to tell us
9,
right now.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. One more boring spin for everybody. CB.
No, not boring. The spins are exciting.
Oh,
It's
the spins
setup
are
that's
exciting.
boring.
Here we go. Boop. Bombi 1138. Bombi 1138. All right. Are you here, Bombi 1138?
BOMB?
BOMBIE, going back to it for everybody to see again. Right there. Bombi 1138. Bombi. CB replied.
Oh, man. That's heartbreaking.
Okay, here's what we're doing. This is easy. Bombi 1138. Are you here? CB, you're getting your flag. CB, you're getting your flag. Don't worry about it. I trust my guys. He was in the chat. Bombi 1138. I assume you're here.
Well, I don't see a Bombi in my chat.
No, I think it's in mine. I'm going to give it 1 minute. I want to be as fair as possible.
And that would be rough.
We're gonna do just a 60 seconds. You guys help me, and thank you for caring, guys. I'm watching the chat. I see a Bombi in my chat. Bombi is here. Bombi 1138 is here. Perfect. And that's from Yana, my moderator, and Pete's admin. Okay, guys. 2 winners tonight. CB, gregterry.org, contact. Send me an email with your preferred shipping address. And Bombi 1138, same thing. gregterry.org, message me. You get a flag. And next week, we're going to have it good. Bombi 1138. I can't believe it. I'm happy. Hey, we're happy for you. We're happy for CB. Everybody, yeah, CB did send a message, and Bombi did too. So congratulations to both of you. And don't worry, guys, I have plenty of flags. And that's all due to Professor Gertis. Next week, we will do one more free flag raffle, and I promise you this is going to be better. Thank you, guys. Both winners. Congratulations to all of you. Professor Gertis, thank you. I'll let you sign off the way you do.
Well, I just want to thank you all for being the kind of people that care about Ukraine.
And I want to say,
and
Slava
since
Ukraini.
you have a two-part,
yeah,
I'll also say Slava Ukraini.
And I will say Heroim Slava. Thank you guys for trusting us. Thank you for standing with us. And hey, we'll keep doing this stuff to build community. Got lots of things we're going to do. Not always about selling a raffle ticket or trying to do that. We want to give back and say thank you as well. You guys be blessed. Have a great night. And let's keep our eyes on Washington, D.C. tomorrow. Who knows? We may pop live again to talk about it. It'll be good news. By the way, King Raccoon, my moderator, by the way, I sent him his flag, and he donated it to Johnny Pierce to raffle for more aid for Ukraine. So big thanks to King Raccoon, King Dog. You guys be blessed, and we'll see you soon. Make sure your notification bells are on. Be blessed. Have a good night. And do that again.
Слава Україні!